so many different ways. It's been fun to watch and really going to be hard
guys?
to slow him down.
How you guys doing, man? Just
Lillard and Matthews pair up in the back.
make sure my mic is on.
Are the power tandem, and it's Lopez in at the 5 down low.
Yes,
that's good.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball
Get ready
moving
for
out
my
there.
review. Sorry if I was a little distracted.
12 points have
Now
come
I'm ready to
off
play
of assists.
some games
Now
to talk
here's
about
Kicks
Summerslam.
it to Reddick.
So, in my
Ball.
review, I'm here to talk about Summerslam.
So
So,
the wing on the left.
I'm just going to do a quick review, and the rest of the way I'm just going to play this game. So, don't be surprised if it's still on. So,
Now here's Reddick.
I want to
He's
talk
covered by
about.
Matthews.
So,
Good.
yeah,
9 points
talk
for
about
Chris Paul.
Summerslam. So,
And Steve, this
basically,
game has a lot of character
I want
here
to talk
in the
about
third
the
period.
first match,
You know what,
Randy
guys?
Orton
I love
versus
seeing this
Sheamus.
type of action, the
I thought the match
competitive,
between
compelling
Orton and
matchup. A lot of
Sheamus
lead
was
changes
good.
here
It was
so far.
interesting.
6 in total.
And yeah, I just felt like for the most part it was
Both
good to
teams
watch.
playing hard and
It
really
was awesome to
competing
watch.
out there.
Randy
Here's
Orton
Lillard
and Sheamus
following
kind
the
of
three from
teared up
Chris
a little
Paul.
bit, but there was not much on the
And
line.
Damian Lillard with the
But
bucket
at the same
on the
time,
assist
Sheamus
by
did
Batum.
put on an effort to win,
And it's
which I
9
thought was
points
very
for Lillard.
impressive. So I thought it was great.
The Clippers trail. Paul kicks to Reddick.
I thought it was interesting. It was great to watch. It was
Paul outside.
what is it?
He feeds
Yeah,
it
it was,
to
it
Reddick.
was really good. So, yeah, I mean, Sheamus did went at it, and Orton went at it very
To the
well.
wing
So
right side.
I thought that's what made it, really interesting. So,
That three-off
yeah, it was
target
good.
had some space there
Yeah,
after
so the
the
match
little
was
pump
good,
fake.
but it wasn't much on the line, so you can't say it had high quality. But however, they still put on quite an effort, and there was some parts where they did have
And
some
Lillard
flaws,
gets
but
double
for the
teamed.
most part, they did put on an effort. I feel like that's what interested me a little bit. So that was a good thing about it. So now what I want to talk about is the next match that did happen right after.
Portland with the ball.
It was
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for
what
us.
was it?
Hey, Kevin.
I think it
Coach
was
Doc Rivers
Ryback
certainly
and the
hasn't
Miz.
minced words since joining
Ryback
the
versus
Clippers.
the Miz
He's
versus
held
Big
each
Show,
player accountable and
which I thought was good to
roles.
watch.
He told DeAndre Jordan
But
he wouldn't run any
I didn't
plays
catch
for
much
him,
of it.
that he just
I
wanted
did
him
catch
to
it,
focus
actually.
on defense. Jordan said Doc knows how to reach people. There are egos on every team, and he knows how to control all of that. It's honesty. Refreshing, gentlemen.
Champion with the Celtics.
Yeah, and I thought it was great. It was very good to watch. The match was very interesting. Yeah, it was very good. The Miz actually looked phenomenal in the match. Very finesse. I like what he did after he nailed Big Show with the shell shot. He continually attempted after nailing the skull crash in the finale. Had a great false finish in there, but unfortunately to no avail. Ryback kicks out. And eventually at the end, he ends up winning and nailing out Big Show, which led him to retaining the title. So I thought that was interesting. The match was very well done. The Miz, I felt like, did play a big role in attempting to win, played that great smaller cowardly heel who let the big guys go at it, and then Miz tries to pick the pieces and the bones. So that's what played a major part, and then Ryback eventually coming strong at the end with the Miz's plan backfiring. So I thought that was very interesting to watch. So yeah, it was great. So next match I want to talk about is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. And I'm not going to go in order. Unfortunately, I did scramble a little bit, but I'll get back on track. It's the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match between the Los Matadores, the New Day, and the Primetime Players. So I thought that match, the Primetime Players and the Lucha Dragons, I forgot about them. So I thought this match was great. It was interesting to watch. What else happened it was very good to watch. It was great high-flying moves. And Los Matadores, man, what their 450 slingshot 450 splash kind of blew me away a little bit. They're very entertaining to watch. It's like going back watching Lucha Wrestling again, and stuff that they did talk about. But however, it was really interesting. The big part about that is the big part about it was, how the New Day was displayed. Xavier Woods playing the phenomenal and annoying heel on the sideline. He entertains me. He does not annoy me. I just enjoy being annoyed by him, but I'm not annoyed by him. That's the most ironic part about that. And the thing about that is that it's just really crazy. So yeah, it's just kind of funny. So, but for the most part, he did play very well. So,
and he can really run the lane, and he's always had a toughness and a fearlessness.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, he played a great role. So I did like Xavier Woods. I give him a little credit for what he did. So, yeah, he was great. So I did like what he did. I did like what he pulled, and he was phenomenal. But the New Day, with how the match ended, was great. Titus O'Neil looks very phenomenal, just playing that role as the muscle-bound wrestler, and Darren Young playing the finesse. So I felt like they fit great. You know, I didn't like them when they first teamed up because they were rivals, and now suddenly they're teaming up. But they actually made me forget about their rivalry, because they did have another rivalry after Primetime Players briefly disbanded. But I'm glad they reunited after their brief disbanding, so it was great to watch. So one thing I could say to that,
not surprised by that, Kevin. He brings so much energy at both ends of the floor. He does a lot of those.
So one thing I could say to that is it was just great. So
in a moment, I'll quickly take a look at the offensive
the next thing you did want to talk about was, you know, how well the match finished, and you know, the match finished so well. So with the New Day getting involved after that clash, it looked like a little bit of a cluster, but luckily enough they handled that cluster so well, and they just, man, it was just crazy. It was just kind of odd how the cluster just turned out to be a little screwy finish in the end for the New Day to pick up the win and becoming two-time tag team champions. So it's great they won, but I didn't want Primetime Players to win, but it's great they won because New Day has the power of positivity. It's just so funny how they have that power of positivity and they play those great annoying heels, and the power of positivity paid off. They had that positivity and it motivated them to become second-time tag team champions and pick up the victory. So kudos to them, and I give them a lot of credit for it.
It was a good decision, just poor execution.
Next match I do want to talk about now is Rusev versus Ziggler. I gotta say the match ended very odd. You know, the double countout. I thought Ziggler was gonna pick up the win, to be honest, but unfortunately that did not happen. But I don't know. I didn't like the fact that it was a singles match at SummerSlam. I was hoping a mixed tag team matchup, but you know, I don't know where they're setting up. I feel like this feud is mostly about Lana, about her building up and being over with the crowd. So pair her up with a great popular face like Ziggler, but they didn't really have to. But I don't know, I feel like there's more leeway for Lana than it is for Ziggler, so I won't be surprised if they were to go their separate ways and Ziggler blames Lana for his shortcomings or whatnot. I don't know. I don't want that to happen, but unfortunately it may happen.
When you think about it,
but I know they're nowhere close to leading it towards that. But you know, Summer Rae playing good as Lana will probably get into a match with Summer Rae. I don't know what's gonna happen, but unfortunately, you know, it's going to be leeway for her picking up a victory, so I'm not talking much about the match. The match was good. The match was great. Rusev saying Rusev Crush, I thought that was funny, because that's where Lana would say Rusev Crush. But unfortunately, I thought Summer Rae would say Rusev Crush. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so I got to say that's kind of crazy, but it was just kind of crazy to say the least. So one thing I could say, it was a great match. It was something great to watch. I enjoyed it. And yeah, the finish, I didn't really like it, but it was actually great. So they try to find a way to end the match without them hurting anyone. So it's just leadway. That's what it looks like, but this is not a good pay-per-view. This is not the pay-per-view to do leadway. They could have did it like 2 months back or something. That's what I'm thinking. So. But other than that, yeah,
they now take the lead.
This is a good match. So, and Lana getting a new wardrobe or outfit, which I was expecting, but I didn't. Which I was expecting, but yeah, that's what I expected. And apparently she did. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, that's what I gotta say to that.
Finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
So next match I do want to talk about is
active feet on the fast break.
Clark Power on the dog. I love that. Active hands on the steel, active feet on the fast break. Clark Power on the dog.
Now here's Reddick.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Yeah. So yeah, next match I want to talk about is Divas Tag Team match. PCB versus
Millard against Paul.
Team Bella and Team PAD. Beautiful and Dangerous. And I gotta say, I'm disappointed with how beautiful Dangerous was first eliminated. And to me, to getting handled the way she did, I think it was on the Becky Lynch.
Aldridge has got 18 points.
No, it wasn't. I think it was Becky Lynch free belt, but nonetheless, Team BAD was eliminated by one of the members of Team Bella, I think. And they probably did that just so Nikki Bella doesn't become hurt by the loss against Team PCB, and I felt like that's the route they went. But PCB prevailed at the end, which I thought was great. So yeah, it was very interesting. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great ending.
They needed more of a back to the basket guy, and Aldridge was as dominant as ever, stepping into that role in addition to still being able to knock down that face-up jumper.
It had great action, high-flying moves, great action from Paige, great action from Charlotte. Brie Bella was great. The finish was awesome with Brie Bella going for Brie mode and then countering. I thought that was awesome, countering the dropkick and then nailing her finish. I thought it was great.
And it's Austin Rivers.
And then the next match that did happen was what else?
He's checked in for Lopez.
Yeah, so I thought it was great. It was a great match. PCB failed and picked up a victory. It was good for them, but unfortunately they lost the following night on Raw, which was unfortunate. So next match I do want to talk about was Seth Rollins versus John Cena. And I gotta say, I was mad with Jon Stewart getting involved in the match. Why does he have to be there involved in the match? I was so disappointed that even happened. I just can't believe that. And I have to say, like, I was so disappointed with how that went. So
Trailblazers have gone 7 of 10.
I gotta say, man, it was very hard to believe. The match was good. I didn't want Seth Rollins to win, but unfortunately they did, because if John Cena won, it would motivate the Authority, to rejuvenate them to try and get the title back, but it could mark on John Cena's history, because I feel like he really earned it. He accomplished so much in his career, so I was very disappointed with how the match ended with Jon Stewart getting involved in Costa. But Seth Rollins won Creed. I would have gave him all the credit in the world, but I can't really do that because Jon Stewart got involved.
And he makes the first.
You know, his explanation on the following night was really interesting. Like, I like how it was done, so that's what I got to say to that.
I mean, a report was circulating that he wanted to leave, but he denied it, and good for Portland that it was just the rumor mill at work.
What I talk about was John Cena and Kevin Owens. No, Cesaro and Kevin Owens, which I thought was great. It was a great match. So
yeah, last season definitely, guys, had some drama with Aldridge and his
future. What I got to say to that, it was good, great to watch, very interesting. And Cesaro was phenomenal in the ring. He was great, very aggressive, innovative, and very finesse, but wasn't enough for him to get the victory. But one thing I got to say is that, you know, Kevin Owens looked phenomenal with that great finish, great signature move, and great power bomb for him to pick up the victory. So I thought it was interesting. So one thing I can say to that is kudos up to Owens to pick the victory. I felt like he really needed it after the loss from NXT TakeOver. So it was great. He bounced back and emerged strong in the WWE. So that's what I guess that happened. So
Rivers has got 8 points.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Well, it took them a while, but they're finally starting to get some...